Let's look at the next page, if you would. What's the next page say? Did you flip it over? Do you need to flip it over? Oh, you already flipped it over. And so what we're going to do is a little bit of review, okay? Some basic stuff. We're going to basically review that part of your last class that you really need to know for this class, okay? Simple stuff, basic stuff, like question number 1. Where's Jennifer McCarty? Jennifer, what is a debit? It is indeed the opposite of a credit. But you could do just a little bit of that. That's kind of like heads is the opposite of tails. You can't remember at the moment, but it is the opposite. The debit is the opposite of a credit. She's on the right track there. Kaylee? Is that how you say that? Kaylee. What would you say? What's a debit?
Debit, cash.
That's an account that you would increase with a debit, okay? But what is, so in that, it's an account that you would increase with a debit. But what is a debit? Are you Brandon? He was getting excited because he was thinking his name was going to come next. What would you say? What's a debit? Anybody know? What is it?
Increase in asset, decrease in liability.
Getting warmer. You're just a longer version of that definition. Yes, sir. Left side of a T account. Yes, sir. Left side of a T account, okay? So then what's a credit? Right side of a T account, okay? So debit, credit, it's left side, right side. Now what you said is correct, but a debit doesn't always increase. It always increases. Yes, and so that's where we're going to go here. So I wanted a more general answer than just one framed with a particular type of an account. Because it's just general, what is a debit? Left side. What's a credit? Right side. You know, if you go to work for a bank, everything's backwards. They still got debits and debits are still on the left, and credits are still on the right, but everything's backwards. So we'll start simple. Okay, so now let's talk about financial statements first. Financial statements. There are 4 financial statements in the world. Can you name one of them? Matt. Michael. Matt, Michael. Is that you? Michael or Mikkel? Michael. Matt, name a financial statement. Yes, sir. There's 4 of them. What?
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. Okay. You know another one? Statement of retained earnings. So what we've now heard is if I were ordering them, number 2 and number 4 of 4, okay? Okay, number 2 and number 4 of 4. Statement of retained earnings, she took the hardest one off the list, okay? So the whole class thanks you. Number 2 is the balance sheet. Number 4, statement of retained earnings. It's the most obscure of them. Tyson, you got one for me? Are you Tyson?
Yeah.
You already talked. So you're off the hook. Brittany, you've already talked to me though too. That's you. You took the hardest one down. So Tyler.
General ledger.
That's not a financial statement. Shucks. Heidi? Income statement number 1. Okay? Income statement number 1. Balance sheet number 2. Number 4, statement of retained earnings. We are just missing 1. Anybody know? No, it's actually statement of retained earnings. It's kind of similar. Statement of cash flows. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Statement of cash flows. Okay? So number 1, income statement. Not that there's any importance to that order. To me, it's just the natural order. Now, what I would like to know, Sarah Beatty. Except I've talked to you already. Scott, that's you. What's the most simple form of the income statement? What's the first number on the income statement? Top number, income statement. You're building an income statement. What's the top number? You know this one? He's thinking. First number. Anybody know what I'm fishing for? Revenue. And what are we going to subtract from revenue? Expenses. Bingo. So what's the most simple form of the income statement? Revenue minus expenses equals income, okay? Income statement. Now, Evan. Well, let's see, I've talked to Evan. Melissa, have I talked to Melissa? Yes, I did. Ching, I haven't talked to you. What is the accounting equation? Do you know? No? Why not? Whitney?
Assets plus liabilities equals owner's equity.
Assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity.
Oh.
That's okay. There is an alternative way to say it, but I don't think you got all the accounts, but I'm not sure the pluses and minuses work right there. So assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity, or assets minus liabilities equals owner's equity. But I think you added the two. I think you said assets. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So the correct answer is assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. Did you write that down? And what is that she just named? Jackie?
I was lost. I heard the question, I don't know.
You got the answer, though.
No, but I know.
Assets-
I didn't get the first part that you actually asked me.
What did she write down? What?
I don't know, I missed it.
You missed it? Did you get it?
Sorry.
The accounting equation. I'm sure glad I asked that question, though, so now you can write it down. The accounting equation equals assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. Which financial statement does the accounting equation describe? Nicole? Where's Nicole? What financial statement does the accounting equation describe? And it's not going to be the income statement because we've already got that one defined.
The balance sheet.
The balance sheet, okay? It is the balance sheet. So the accounting equation describes the balance sheet.